Well, after days of financial turmoil and trillions of dollars being wiped off stock markets, President Trump sent another shockwave through markets, this time sparking a sizable relief rally on Wall Street. In a social media post, the US president announced an unexpected 90-day pause on the so-called reciprocal tariffs, which had been implemented just hours earlier, bringing them all to a baseline of 10%. Well, not quite all. The US has raised tariffs on China to 125%, he says, based on the lack of respect it's shown. That is after Beijing announced further retaliation against the US earlier in the day, raising their levy to 84% on US goods starting Thursday. The 25% tariff on steel, aluminium and autos imported into the US remains, so some winners and some losers in the latest salvo of Trump's trade war. And while investors and all of us try to keep up, one of the few certainties you can bet on is a total lack of certainty when it comes to US trade policy. Anna Stewart, CNN, London.
Well, good morning, everybody.
The American hillbilly versus China's so-called peasants. It all started with this.
And to make it a little bit more crystal clear, we borrow money from Chinese peasants to buy the things those Chinese peasants manufacture. From Chinese peasants.
Vance's Chinese peasants comment reaching Beijing within hours. The government's response? Swift and scathing.
It's both astonishing and lamentable to hear this vice president make such ignorant and disrespectful remarks.
On China's tightly controlled internet, government censors are allowing Vance's interview to go viral, amplifying the outrage, igniting anger and sarcasm. Have you said thank you for the money we lent you? A reference to China being the second largest foreign holder of U.S. government debt, and that infamous Oval Office exchange with Ukraine's president.
You should be thanking the president.
One hashtag about the Chinese peasants remark shot to the top of China's Twitter-like platform Weibo, with millions of views and counting. Many comments boasting of China's modern achievements. Look, this is their true face, arrogant and rude as always. We may be peasants, but we have the world's best high-speed rail, the most powerful logistics, and leading AI and drone technologies. Aren't such peasants quite impressive? Former Global Times editor Hu Xijin posted on Weibo, this true peasant who came out of rural America seems to lack perspective. Many people are urging him to visit China and see reality with his own eyes. Many in China are interpreting Vance's comments as describing all Chinese people. Some even referencing Vance's memoir and movie.
How many times have you seen this?
As one social media post put it, the author of Hillbilly Elegy is calling Chinese peasants? Really?
Is there pain in the market? At some point you're unwilling to tolerate this idea of a Trump put? Is there a threshold?
I think your question is so stupid. I mean, I think it's I don't want anything to go down, but sometimes you have to take medicine to fix something. And we have such a horrible, we have been treated so badly by other countries because we had stupid leadership that allowed this to happen. They took our businesses, they took our money, they took our jobs, they moved it to Mexico, they moved it to Canada, they moved a lot of it to China. And it's not sustainable. We're not going to do it. Now we have hundreds of billions of dollars is pouring into our country on a monthly basis. It's pouring. It's already started because they put tariffs on. And eventually it's going to straighten out and our country will be solid and strong again.
Elon Musk has said he hopes for zero tariffs between the U.S. and Europe. Is that a place you'd like to also get to?
Well, the problem is that Europe has made a fortune with us. You know, Europe also has had a tremendous surplus with the United States. Europe has treated us, it's a little smaller, but they've treated us very, very badly. China has, but Europe has also. Europe has been very, very bad to us. Europe has taken our leaders for a ride. They don't take our cars, they don't take our food products, they don't take anything. And we take their cars, Mercedes, Volkswagen, BMW. You know, we take their millions of cars. They take no cars. They don't take our farm product. They don't take anything. Europe's treated us very badly. We put a big tariff on Europe. They are coming to the table. They want to talk, but there's no talk unless they pay us a lot of money on a yearly basis. Number one for present, but also for past, because they've taken a lot of our wealth away, and we're not going to allow it to happen.
From a strategic perspective, do you think China is going to blink and try to cut a deal with the White House?
It certainly doesn't look like it, but what Trump is doing is a huge opportunity for China worldwide. These tariffs are a form of economic illiteracy. Trump has no idea really what he's talking about. He doesn't understand how tariffs works. He has said as recently as a few days ago he views trade surpluses and deficits as like a profit and loss statement, which they certainly are not. So what he's doing has put us in a very vulnerable position, and probably in the worst position possible to go after the real country problem in the international trading system, which is China. Instead of taking on the country that's stolen our intellectual property for decades, among other things, by gathering our allies together, all of whom also suffer from China's intellectual property theft, and engaging in concerted action, we're at war with our largest trading partners while we're about to go to war with China as well. It simply makes no sense, and it's just sad and depressing that more Republicans haven't stood up and said that. This is illiteracy.
Markets are melting down, and everyone is talking about a bear market.
The NASDAQ is in a bear market. Now nearing a bear market.
On pace for a bear market.
But what exactly is it? A bear market is a 20% drop from a recent high. These steep market declines typically signal immense fear among investors about the health of the economy. Since 1929, there have been 18 bear markets for the S&P 500. The average drop, about 37%. Some bear markets were less severe, some more. Some of them, like in 1990, were caused by war. Others were fueled by the bursting of asset bubbles, like in 2000.
The internet mania was a giant bubble.
Toxic mortgages were to blame for the 2008 meltdown.
A breathtaking plunge for stock markets. The Dow drops by 800 points.
And a deadly virus crashed markets in 2020. This time, it's self-inflicted. President Trump's trade war has freaked out investors around the world, causing enormous losses in rapid fashion. For now, investors are selling first and they're asking questions later.